2023.
All righty.
Second.
Motion made and seconded that we adopt our regular session minutes from October 23rd, 2023. Any concerns, comments regarding the minutes? If not, Ms. Kim?
Councilwoman Emmett.
Aye.
Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Councilman Fye.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Let's move on to new business. First item, ordinance reallocating funds from risk management to the fire department for FY #24 in the general fund.
Mr. Mayor, I'll start
Yes,
this, and Chief Bryant is here if you've got questions, along with members of his command staff. But council will recall in the adoption of the 2024 budget in the months leading up to that, council authorized us to make application for 6 fire department personnel through the FEMA Safer Grant. And we weren't sure we were going to get it, but it's a non-supplanting grant, so we knew that if we didn't get it, we still had a need that we needed to move forward with. We asked you at the time, and you allocated sufficient monies to add 3 firefighters at mid-year if we were unsuccessful with the Safer Grant. I'm sorry to say we're unsuccessful with the Safer Grant. As they continue to try to spread scarce resources, they look to communities that have even greater challenges than we do more often than not. So tonight, this request, and the chief is here and can speak to the details of it if you'd like, but this request is to allow us to move forward at mid-year with the 3 positions that we anticipated in the adoption of the budget. And I would remind you, in the same budget action, you also approved 3 police officer positions at mid-year, and the recruitment for that is underway.
Okay.
Chief,
Thank you,
sir,
sir.
if you've
Thank
got
you, sir.
operational questions.
Any
easy
questions
go.
of the fire chief? I think everybody remembers this. I think he explained it as well this time as you did last time. Okay, if we don't have any questions, let's adopt the ordinance.
Mr. Mayor, I propose an ordinance reallocating funds from risk management to fire department for fiscal year 2024 in the general fund.
Good.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded that we adopt. Concerns, comments? Any questions? If not, Ms. Kim?
Councilman Fye.
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting.
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
All right, thanks, Kim. Moving on to item 2, it's an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2024 for general fund and carryover funds for various departments. Ms. Tara, welcome. Good evening.
Items to appropriate in FY '24, the city received notification that we were awarded $12,513 for the litter prevention and recycling grant from the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality for FY 2024. And when we adopted the budget, we had included $9,570. So this ordinance appropriates the additional $2,943 for that grant. The last item is the fire department received $23,916 in insurance proceeds from Chesterfield Insurers, which is based on a claim to replace an M200 drone that experienced a mechanical issue in August 2023, and it caused a catastrophic malfunction. There was a $500 deductible, but these proceeds will cover the remainder of the full replacement cost. So therefore, you have an ordinance to appropriate these funds, which totals $34,153 in the general fund budget for fiscal year 2024. And I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions of Ms. Tara? Not, do I have a motion, please?
Mr. Mayor, I propose an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2024 in the general fund.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded, we adopt the ordinance. Any comments, concerns, any questions? If not, Ms. Kim, please.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Councilman Fye.
Aye.
Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting.
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7 to 0.
Thanks, Kim. Let's move on to our third item. It's an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2024 in the general fund, Assistance to Firefighters Grant, Port Security Grant Program.
Battalion Chief Breeden will present on
Good
behalf
evening,
of the staff,
Chief.
sir.
Good
Welcome.
evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Manager, members of council. Yeah, before you this evening is an ordinance. We have been successful with 2 more grants, one being the Assistance to Firefighters Grant. That is to upgrade the exhaust systems in the station to pull the diesel exhaust and motor vehicle exhaust out of the station. It's part of our cancer initiatives, and it was actually Chief Bryant's idea. He brought it to me last year, said this is one of the things I want to accomplish. We were able to put pen to paper and be successful. It does have approximately an $8,000 match in that grant that we had the discussions beforehand before we submitted. But that grant total project's $180,700, including the $8,000 match, and that will complete the project at both stations. And this will be phenomenal for our firefighters in getting the exhaust up and out of the station. Secondly was the Port Security Grant. Our department, we have a pretty robust marine unit. We do not have a dive team. One of the things that we went for this year was actually to also expand our drone program, was an underwater drone or an ROV. And this will help with search and will help with checking infrastructure post-disaster. This is a zero match grant, so this is completely on FEMA's dime, on Department of Homeland Security's dime. So that will help us not only support our own missions here in the city, but the greater region as we do with our Marine unit currently. And I'm happy to answer any further questions you may have.
Any questions? You guys do a great job with grants, I'll tell you.
We try.
You really do.
We try.
Any questions? Okay, if not, let's stop this ordinance so they can move on.
All right, Mr. Mayor, I propose an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2024 in general fund, Assistance to Firefighters Grant, and Port Security Grant Program.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
All right, motion made, second, we adopt the ordinance. Any other concerns or comments? If not, Ms. Kim?
Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett.
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting.
Aye.
Councilman Fye.
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7 to 0.
All right, thank you, Kim. Our last item is a resolution making appointments to the Colonial Community Criminal Justice Board. Any comments, Randy?
Couple. The Criminal Justice Board is regional in nature, established by statute, and a large number of the positions on that board are specified by code, and by tradition, each locality is asked to appoint a few of those, even though those persons might not live in the jurisdiction. For example, the superintendent of the regional jail, Mr. Witham, or the CSB director, Mr. Coe, are 2 of our 3 appointments that we've put forward this evening, and the last is Police Captain Kelly Waddell.
All right.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I propose a resolution appointing Mr. Roy Wickham, Virginia Peninsula Regional Jail Administrator, Mr. David Coe, Executive Director of Colonial Behavioral Health, Captain Kelly Waddell, Poquoson Police Department, to the Colonial Community Criminal Justice Board. Their terms expire 30 November 2026.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded. We adopt the resolution with those names inserted. Any other comments, any other concerns? If not, Ms. Kim?
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Councilwoman Bunting.
Aye.
Councilman Fye.
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett.
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7 to 0.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Mr. City Manager, any comments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of council, a number of things, but I'll go quick. In case you haven't been to South Austin Park lately, the site work is in the process of being finalized with the delivery of the bathroom trailer anticipated very, very soon. So that project is almost done. If you've not been by the Two Tree Park recently, John Anderson and his team installed a micro park there last week. The next couple of things that you'll see over the next couple of weeks are the installation of a bike rack and a sign letting people know about announcing the park specifically. But we continue to make progress at that, and John and his team are responsible for that. I want to thank them for that. A number of people have asked, what is the tree clearing going on City Hall Avenue? You all know the answer to that, but home that may not know, that is the home of the Public Safety Building, which is, after a couple of decades worth of getting ready for this, is underway now. And lastly, just to follow up from last meeting, we had a number of citizens here expressing support for and hopes that we could move forward as a community on establishing permanent dedicated pickleball courts. We continue to meet, Councilman Fye and others, Parks Board, and we anticipate having a recommendation for you for action, at least an initial action, at your next meeting. And that's
All right, good deal. Thanks, sir. Mr. Hooks.
Thank you, Mayor Helps. I have two items to comment on tonight, the first of which is our very successful election that was held last week. I want to compliment our registrar's office, be specific, Ms. Tammy Pinkney, our General Registrar and Director of Elections, Ms. Tara Moore, our Deputy Registrar. Our electoral board consists of Ms. Jennifer Barnes, Mr. Lynn Pauls, and Mr. Lewis Littlepage. In addition to our staff members, we also have a multitude of volunteers throughout the community that are critical to the success of our elections. The volunteers must undergo training and certification, and as the name volunteer implies, they do so on their own time. Staff and volunteers usually show up about 5 a.m. and they man the polls through about 9 o'clock at night before they finish up for the day and are able to go home. And they maintain this pace over a 45-day period to accommodate the early voting all the way back to September. So congratulations and thanks so much to the electoral board, volunteer, registrar's office. And I know that people come from miles around to use our DMV because it's so well managed and so successful and so professional. And I suspect that if people were able to do the same thing with elections, they would come to Poquoson to vote for all the same reasons. So thanks so much to all. I'd also like to comment on the Peninsula Education Foundation, another volunteer organization that does so much to support our school system. So I'd like to thank Ms. McCormick, Ms. Judy McCormick, and all the staff on the Education Foundation. Their most recent effort was the Run for the Bulls that was held on October 28th, another very successful year. For all those that might not be familiar, the Run for the Bulls is a 5K run and a 2-mile walk. All the proceeds go directly to the, thanks so much to the Education Foundation. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
That's all I have tonight.
Well done.
Thank you.
Ms. Debbie?
I would like to thank the support from the voters in the Western Precinct for the most recent election, and also for the others in the city as well, in the Eastern and the Central precincts who have reached out to me with congratulations and best wishes for the outcome of that election. And I look forward to serving this council for the next 3 years. I'm very honored and humbled to do so and look very forward to it.
Glad to have you, T. Debbie. You did an outstanding job when you were on council before, and I'm sure you'll improve on that one. Heath?
Yes, I got a couple things. First one, tomorrow morning is the mobile food pantry. It's going to be at the municipal building. It'll be from 10 till 12, but if you'd like to volunteer to help distribute the food to the people that need it, we'll be starting there about 8:30 tomorrow morning. also announced that in the new year, we'll be changing days. Don't have the specifics for announcement yet. Don't want to confuse anybody, but it will be changing the days and the week of the month from the new year. And then two other things I had were basically pats on the back. The Navy would say Bravo Zulu to first the Veterans Day ceremony that was put on by the American Legion. Did an outstanding job, as they always do. And the one that's more closer to home is over the weekend, McPherson's Garage on Wythe Creek Road replaced the fence that goes around their establishment. The old one was good. The new one is even better, of course. And it's nice to see the businesses taking pride in their setup and the beautification of the city. And I passed that on to them, and it kind of inspired the neighborhood to go out there and also clean up the area in front of the fence. Unfortunately, I couldn't join that because I was at the Veterans Day ceremony, but they did a great job, and things look really nice.
Good, good. Bud?
I would like to second all the comments made, and I would also like to thank the people who came to the veterans ceremony. I think you can't appreciate the veterans enough. And the ceremony itself is fairly moving, especially when they go around and place the flag in front of the people who served in the military and did not come home. Right? And it's a very moving ceremony. They did a great job, and I thank everybody for coming out to it. And I'd like to see the whole city there next year. And I'd like to thank the people that came out here tonight to watch their city government, and those at home doing it, and tell your friends and neighbors to do the same. Thank you.
All right, Miss Angie?
I echo what everyone else said. It was a really well-done ceremony, the Veterans Day ceremony. Vice Mayor Freeman, the other Legionnaires, the other participating groups, civic organizations. It was a really well-done ceremony. I did go play pickleball after the last meeting. I took it Saturday morning. There were about 15 people there. We filled up the 3 courts, and plus there were people rotating in. So that was a lot of fun. They were very welcoming. And then lastly, I look forward to serving with the council for next year.
Look forward to serving with you too, Angie. Mr. Vice Mayor?
I want to congratulate Councilwoman Bunning and Emmett for running such a good campaign, and glad to have you with us for another term. I was going to comment on Veterans Day, but I think it's been covered pretty good. I did participate in the Run for the Bulls and have a T-shirt. That's all.
Did you run?
I walked.
Oh. All right. Okay, anything else? All right, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made, second, we adjourn. Ms. Kim?
Councilwoman Bunting,
Aye.
Councilman Fye,
Aye.
Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman,
Aye.
Councilman Hucks,
Aye.
Councilwoman Emmett,
Aye.
Mayor Hessel.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
All right, we'll adjourn. Christmas trees. Vodafone candy now.